Hey, if you're looking for a place that's more than just a market, it's a game changer, you've got to check out Palmer's Direct-to-You Market, right on 900 Jefferson Road in Henrietta, and, of course, online at palmersdirecttoyou.com. And here's what I love. You can hop on their website, not only see the weekly specials, but under the Learn tab, they've got tons of recipes, tips, and how-to guides. And with football season here, their game day recipe roundup, loaded with fun ideas. Chicken wings, dips, crowd pleasers. You're going to be the MVP of any watch party by going to palmersdirecttoyou.com and clicking on the Learn tab. And the experts at Palmer's, they're incredible. I actually learned how to air fry bacon from them. Pro tip, you lay a piece of bread at the bottom to soak up the grease. Brilliant, right? That's a Palmer's tip. They've also got guides for busy back-to-school nights and how to properly freeze and thaw beef or easy meal preps so dinner doesn't feel like a scramble. And it's not just recipes. The market itself is unbelievable. Certified Angus beef, burgers, plump chicken, fresh fish, and one of my personal favorites, the Jamaican Me Crazy coffee. Oh, it's so good. So whether you shop in person at 900 Jefferson Road or online at palmersdirecttoyou.com, you're not just buying groceries, you're getting expert advice, fresh food, and a little inspiration to make mealtime better. That's Palmer's Direct-to-You Market.
When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. I don't know what's going on with my voice.
It's whatever's in the air at this time of year. Hello, everyone.
Maybe I smoked. Did I? I didn't smoke. I don't smoke.
You don't smoke. You're allergic to tobacco.
Yes, I am. You are correct.
Right.
How do you remember all
Because in
this?
2008, when I first met you,
Well, it was.
I offered you a cigar. You're like,
yeah.
no, I can't smoke tobacco.
The cigars would get me so stuffed up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I may have been known at once in a while drinking to bum a cigarette off somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't.
I've never smoked a cigarette in my life.
God bless you. God bless you.
Never touched a smoke.
You know, you're a disciplined guy. I have just lived my life a little bit more on, I don't know, I think the edge. Somewhat of the edge. Somewhat.
Look at you, Steven Tyler.
Huh?
Look at you, Steven Tyler.
No.
Leave it on the edge.
Well, let me start here today because there's a lot of things in my
Something's wrong with Moranimal.
my head's all over the place. I had to lay down the law this morning.
Oh, did you?
Yes. So last night, my son was at a buddy's, and then I get the call, can I spend the night?
Of course.
And I said, need to talk to his mom. So I call the mom. Mom doesn't answer. I don't know if she's ducking credit card people. I don't know. She doesn't answer. She didn't recognize the number. I get it. I'm joking. I am joking. But you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
I get her, and she goes, no, that's fine. And she said, my son has to go do yard work at 9, but Jameson is welcome to just sleep. And I'm like, that seems weird, but okay. So I get up, and I'm doing my thing this morning, and I'm checking my phone. I don't see anything from him, don't see anything. So on the way here, I call him. And I go, buddy, the Fairport Police are having a chicken barbecue fundraiser today. I'd like to come get you. I'm going to do a podcast right now. Oh, come on, Dad. Come on. I was going to go to this guy's house and his dad's house in Greece and hang out for a while, and then we'll be back. So I said, yeah, but I had other plans with you today. I said we were going to hit the chicken barbecue thing. I don't even like chicken barbecue. I'm like, okay. So I thought, I want a baseline of how serious are you about keeping your privileges, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking for that. So here's what I did. I said, that's fine. How are you getting there? Tells me. How are you getting back? My name comes up, and I go, oh, no. I said, here's the deal. You will be in our home by 8 p.m. if you have to Uber. You let me know. I'll order you an Uber. You're paying me back. Can I pay out of the next paycheck? I go, whatever. But you have to be home by 8. All right. What's the matter? All right, nothing.
What's going on? Well, I was going to ask for 9. I go, I'll cut you a deal. 8:30. You got to be in our home by 8:30. All right, well, if I'm a few minutes late, I go, nope, 8:30. If you're not there by 8:30, we're done. What does that mean? I go, not hanging out with friends. Ever again? And I go, for a while. We'll see. Mm-hmm. So this is my litmus test today. We'll see what happens.
All right.
You know? I don't know. I don't know if I have if I'm good at the litmus test or not.
Litmus test for you or the litmus test for him?
Well, it's also a litmus test for me because will I hold up the consequences
That's
or
the
go,
whole thing.
fuck it, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's sort of the weak parenting, and I feel like sometimes that's what I do because it's the path of least resistance. And instead of like holding it, and I was really upset with him the other day because I took him to St. John Fisher. He was excited to go. He wanted to get homework done. We had a pretty tough meeting at his school where he was very mad at me in this meeting with other teachers and stuff. And I might have been a little bit of a dick, but I'm hearing about, he's behind in this and he's got this grade and this grade. And I go, okay, here's what we're going to do. I go, it'll be printed out. Somebody here signs it that these are the assignments. Mm-hmm. I will sign it when he completes them. And he was like, and then he was mad. But then I said, like, they'll sit and talk, and they want you to feel comfortable and trust them, and I think that's wonderful. I had a hard out at 9, so at 8:59, I stood up in this meeting as everybody's around this conference table, and I walked over to him, and I said, stand up, and he goes, I'm not standing up. And I go, okay, and I just gave him a big hug, and I whispered in his ear, I love you, I got to go. And I just walked out.
Wow.
Is that a dick move?
No.
Is that a power? I don't even know. I literally had somewhere I needed to be at 9:15.
You told him you loved him. You hugged him. You had a commitment, and you went for it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an issue.
No.
Because you can't, like, you have to, see, the one thing about my parents is that there was no, like, hypocrisy in the house. I'm not saying there would be in yours. There's like, here's the standards that we live by.
Yes.
This is what we're doing.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not.
Right.
And there was no, like, wiggle room.
No, me too. But what happens is when you have a broken family,
right.
I'll call it, right?
Yeah.
We're
it's a different
separated.
Situation, yes.
It becomes tougher, and he has no buffer. Meaning there's no other child at home. Mm-hmm. The other guys are 8 to 10 years older than he is. Mm-hmm. They're already done.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't affect them.
No.
And so he's here trying to navigate a path, making decisions. And sometimes I try to meet him halfway and just try to ease through. Because I think there's a lot of, the word is trauma. And sometimes it's an overused word, but it is. And I can see some of the results of that. Mm-hmm. For real. So we'll see. We'll see how the consequence. If I will follow through on it.
You have to. You don't have a choice.
Well, but then here's the problem though. Here's the goddamn problem. It's not punishing him if he can't go out.
It's punishing you.
I got to stay home too,
right?
To make sure he doesn't go out because this guy will just go. He's not around.
But that's parenting.
Thank you, Dan. And I'm old now, and I've already done it.
I feel bad saying this because
done it.
I feel bad because I don't have kids.
No. You can say that. I
don't have like my brothers and sisters. My brothers and sister now would call me about each other's parenting.
Yeah.
And then
each other's parenting. Yeah.
About each other's parenting.
Yeah. What the fuck did I do with that kid?
So that I would offer my 2 cents. Well, you don't know. You don't have kids.
Well, but see that's not fair because you can't call somebody, lay out a scenario, mm-hmm. and not expect them to have an opinion. Yeah. You're laying out your opinion. That's not fair.
Yeah.
And to tell you, well, you don't have kids, it seems like a bit of a cop-out. You're right. You mm-hmm. don't. There are some, I'll call it the nuances mm-hmm. of life, right? With a child, certain things that go on, like you're not tripping over dirty socks or underwear or someone's taking a 45-minute shower and using all the hot water. You know what I mean? Those types of things.
Yeah.
And maybe you are. Maybe Beth does that. Maybe she leaves her socks around. I don't think so, though. No. I have a funny feeling Beth is very organized.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She knows what we're going to eat next Tuesday. She already knows who's playing in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
It's going to be us.
No, that's terrible.
No, but yeah, it's But it's funny though, because I watched all three of my Sibs. Oh, actually four, but my older sister has since passed, and she lived in Arizona for a long time, so I didn't get to see them. Right, but I watch all of my siblings raise their kids, and I got to say this, the one thing I can say about all of them is that my father would be very proud of how they do it.
Fall is here, the air's crisp, the coffee's pumpkined, and your ride, well, it's still squeaking like a haunted house. Time to drive into fall at Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Route 96 in Victor, where they've got deals hotter than your neighbor's bonfire. Right now, you can lease a new 2025 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for just $269 a month for 24 months. That's right. Get into something safe, stylish, and way more reliable than your cousin's "trust me, it'll make it" car. Or maybe you're the adventurous type. How about the 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Sport S 4x4? Lease it for just $319 a month for 36 months. Perfect for leaf peeping, apple picking, or making an epic grocery store entrance. Need something with muscle? Grab the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $299 a month for 42 months, because hauling, towing, and looking awesome are kind of what it does. All leases come with first payment, DMV taxes and fees due at signing, $2,500 cash or trade, and lease loyalty required. Miles vary, so don't drive to like Alaska. So whether you're conquering trails, jobs, or the school drop-off lane, Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's Drive Into Fall event has your perfect ride. See them today on Route 96 in Victor, or hit them up online at victorcdjr.com. Because this fall, the only thing you should be falling for is a brand new ride. Connors & Ferris handles workers' comp, Social Security disability, and personal injury cases. Listen, I get it. Workers' comp claims can be a real pain. But Connors & Ferris are here to fight for you and get you the compensation you deserve. Whether you threw out your back on the job, slipped when you should have gripped, or your boss thinks overtime means free labor. Spoiler, it doesn't. They've got your back at Connors & Ferris. With offices in New York City, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo, they're the go-to team for getting the compensation you deserve. No gimmicks, no nonsense, just real results. Call Connors & Ferris, 262-COMP. That's 262-COMP for Connors & Ferris.
Danny and I came into the studio today here in Fairport, and we did pass the No Kings protest.
Or demonstration.
Yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a protest.
No, I think
like
you're right. That's a better, way
Yeah.
better description. Yep.
Yeah.
Way better description. Any thoughts on that?
I have a lot of thoughts. And yet, at the end of the day, okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a protest guy. I'm not a demonstration guy. I'm like, if you want to really affect change, then actually do something. Don't just talk about it.
Right.
Right. And I drove through and I see, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see one attractive person. I drove through, I saw a lot of old people, which means what do old people have a lot of time to do? Nothing.
I didn't see a lot of old people. I
saw a ton of old people and women.
Yeah. I
didn't see any young men. I didn't see any. I saw a couple young guys, but I mean, yeah.
I think that I don't have a problem with it at all.
I don't have a problem. You could do whatever you want.
I think it's people who,
and it was peaceful too. There were no riots, none of that stuff.
I think it's people who love this country.
Oh yeah,
and are concerned.
We all want the same things. We just disagree on how to get there.
And I think that the thing that I think people are starting to see a little bit, and this will get weird, is that we're seeing someone who, in interviews many, many years ago, has admitted they're thin-skinned, being President Trump. Mm-hmm. And it does seem like he's going after political opponents, I'll call them, or people with others, kind of using the power of the office to do that, which shouldn't be done, right? Shouldn't be done.
No, I think it's because in a lot of ways,
it's like
they went after him too.
Yes.
with Russia, which wasn't true.
Yeah.
The Letitia James stuff
Yeah.
wasn't. We found out wasn't true.
Right.
And so
You just wish that someone would. I mean,
somebody be the adult in the room and
Yeah,
stop,
like
because
the
then the
dignity,
next time,
I mean,
the next guy's
look,
going to do the same thing. It's just going to go back and forth.
I'll always say things. I'll always say, outside of here, if you work for a media corporation, there really is no free speech. They can endorse or not endorse whatever you want, whatever they want, right? Or you could pull great ratings, but if advertisers often go, did you hear what he said? I'm not advertising on that show. You'll lose your job. It's not free speech. It's money. And everything comes down to money. The ABC Jimmy Kimmel thing, when you looked at it, it was the FCC spotlighting one guy over a comment that was sort of
He didn't need to weigh in.
innocuous. And then you find out that Disney, ESPN, is trying to buy NFL Network, and it needs FCC approval. Look, the optics, we'll just say that. I don't know if this is all true or not. I'm not in those meetings. But I do find all this stuff so unsettling that I don't watch the news. And I feel a little out of touch.
And I think that a lot of the people on either side get their news from their side. Like if you even go to a certain browser, it says news from the left, news from the right. Which would you like? Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What browser's that?
Brave. If you go to the Brave, I use a Brave browser, and the Brave browser, news from the left, news from the right. I'm like, no, just give me the freaking news.
Well, no,
but you can't though. That's the point.
That's interesting.
Right. I think a lot of people watch CNN and they think that's the way the world works. Yeah, but I think that people watch Fox News and they think that's the way the world works. I think one side typically protests or demonstrates more than the other, because I think the other, growing up, college professors, they're like, well, how come colleges are so liberal? Okay, this is just an observation. I think it's because educators typically are in the business of education, whereas people who want to make money are in business and don't have time for that.
Right.
They're not teaching college. Right. They're out earning money. They're working.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not writing books, jaying themselves off in their own opinion. Okay, they just don't. I'm serious. They just don't have the time.
Well, okay, but sometimes it could be said the people that are more intellectual see things on a bigger scale and have a softer side for humanity, right? So we want to help fellow man. I believe that there is no human being that wants to see other human beings suffer. I just don't. But I think, I really do. I think if we see someone suffering, we would try to help them out.
Those of us with a rational mind.
Okay,
sound mind.
But
I think there are some people who.
But I think sometimes when we involve the government to do it, it gets fucked up.
No, dude.
And that's why when you
like
see
Reagan said.
when you see Bezos' ex-wife giving away millions and millions of dollars to things, I don't think that that's done willy-nilly. I think she sees organizations that she knows that she can affect change in a monumental way and help mankind. If that's wonderful, right? And there's no government that has to get in. I mean, it's just because it just becomes more bureaucracy. And Jesus Christ, have you been to the DMV? They're not happy being there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like any government thing, it's like, right? Because it becomes a slog. I don't know about cleaning things up. I have said this before. I will say two things about President Trump. Maybe the most effective at using the presidency I have ever seen in the history of this country. Not that I'm a scholar in the history of this country. I am not. But it's a bully pulpit. And when Stan Main sat here, who is on the left, and said, the guy is effective. He got things done. Maybe you don't agree, but he got things done. The border crossings are down. Are we going about it the right way? Big debate there, right? Mm-hmm. Some of it's pretty harsh, sounds scary. I don't weigh in on these things a lot of times because I'm a privileged white guy, and I know that rubs people the wrong way, but they're not coming after me. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not coming after me. I don't have to worry about that. I'm not here trying to make I am trying to make a better life. You and I
live at the top of the food chain.
Don't you think in a
America,
way,
right?
And,
if you write down our list of worries, and you write down if you took several groups and wrote down their list of worries and eliminated the trivial crap, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, the celebratory garbage, it is much different living in certain areas. It is much different living in certain skin colors than others.
Right. And I think it's okay to recognize that. So I
Yeah.
don't usually weigh in on that stuff. But just as a purpose, like, and Stan pointed this out. Obama, and it might have been his second administration, 100 days in, they come to him and go, hey, polls are saying people are sick of hearing you. They're sick of hearing from Obama. So he tones down his rhetoric. You think that there's a second that President Trump's going to tone down anything?
No.
And
This is the same dude.
That's the effectiveness that I'm talking about. You know, where we try to dance to the people a little bit. He's just going, fuck you, I'm going to do this. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying that's what I'm observing. My personal belief in life, and this is weird, and this is going to sound very strange, so just bear with me. You believe in God.
I do.
I believe in a source of energy that is God. We call it God. That's fine.
I believe in Jesus Christ.
I believe that, and I'll give you examples, that everything in this world is a vibration and an energy. And when you push against something, you get more of it. Because like the law of gravity, there are laws. There are physical laws. And the scientists are starting to prove this out. And that you can take action, but if you're not fully aligned in some spiritual way, it doesn't work. And my example of this is the war on drugs. Has it ever worked?
No.
No.
In fact, they even canceled DARE.
Right, because we're pushing against. So what happens? I really think, and I know that people are going to go, you're fucking insane. This is the dumbest or woo-woo shit. But I think if you look at life, and you even think for yourself, things that you've pushed so hard against. Why? Because it was so hard the other way. And once you sort of let go and let God, or let go and let the universe, it just went easier. Hey, if you've been thinking about checking out recreational cannabis in Monroe County, stop thinking and start visiting my buds over at MJ Dispensary. They were the first recreational cannabis destination in the county. That's right, the OG spot. And trust me, they know their stuff. I was at their summer event, and I was blown away by how educated and on top of it their bud tenders are. I mean, these aren't just people handing you a bag. They're like the Google of cannabis, but way friendlier and without the pop-up ads. Whether you're looking for edibles, vapes, concentrates, pre-rolls, or just something that helps you relax, sleep, or deal with pain, MJ Dispensary has it all. And the best part, they'll guide you so you don't leave looking like you just picked random snacks at 3 a.m. Now, maybe you're in it for the fun side. Maybe you're in it for the wellness side. It doesn't matter. They've got you covered. And here's a bonus. Delivery. That's right. From Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and even on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., they'll bring the goods right to your door, and no judgment if you're in their pajamas. Oh. So, do yourself a favor. Head over to MJ Dispensary, 900 Jefferson Road, Suite 902 in Henrietta, or check them out online at mjdispensary585.com. Mac of all trades. Leaky faucet. Wall that mysteriously has a hole in it. Kitchen looking like it's stuck in the 90s. Mac of all trades is here to save the day. No capes, just expert repairs, remodeling, and handyman services that get the job done right. Call them today at 585-202-9218. That's 585-202-9218. Or visit them online at macofalltrades.net, because every home needs a hero. Mac of all trades. But I did see it'll be the Dodgers, and I don't know who.
It will be either the Mariners or the Jays.
The Jays, right. But I don't know where we are in that series. I really don't.
Yeah, it's 3-2 Seattle.
Okay, so
it's going back to Toronto, yeah.
It'll probably be a West Coast series. That's what it sounds like.
Which is cool.
Yeah, no, great. I'm fine with that. Here's why I would sort of root for Toronto, and I know people get a little like, Ernie Clement is from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And he plays for the Blue Jays.
Yes, he does.
And so it'd be kind of cool.
He's a Yankee killer.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know.
Oh, gosh.
Did not know.
He beat the crap out of the Yanks in that series.
Ernie Clement did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah. He says he tries to convert Yankee fans to become Blue Jay fans when he comes back to Rochester.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
That's what
sure.
they said during the ALDS.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, the Dodgers manager, Dave Roberts, said this last night. Here it is. Let me see if I can.
And I'll tell you, before this season started, they said the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball. Let's go.
And they're saying, like, it's a stacked team. It's what the Yankees used to do, blah, blah, blah. You bought the talent. Do you agree? Baseball fan Dan.
Do I agree that he ruined that the Dodgers are ruining baseball?
Yeah.
No.
No, me neither.
No.
I don't either. I think it's exciting.
You have an enemy now. You have a villain.
Yes.
The Yankees were a villain. Like, you cannot, if you're a Yankee fan, you cannot complain about payroll. Okay?
Oh, right. Exactly.
You cannot complain about payroll if you're a Yankee fan. If you're a Mets fan, you can't complain. Those are the rules. And by the way, there will not be a salary cap in baseball. Now, there is the luxury tax, which is expensive. Okay? But if they want to pay it, God bless them.
Here's something politics of a different side. I saw this posted on my friend Chris Bianchi's Facebook page earlier in the week. And it was about a high school football coach who was averaging 11 wins a season resigning over punishing some players for unsportsmanlike conduct and then the parents threatening him.
Okay.
And listen here. We'll just see.
Over the last 2.5 seasons, the Williams Valley football team has had a 28-6 winning record and has brought back 2 District 11 2A titles. Steven Sedesi, the man coaching the team during those victories, resigned on Monday in the middle of the season.
I decided Monday morning that if my business is going to get threatened, if my family's going to get threatened, it's small school football. I don't need to have that in my life.
Sedesi says parents of players on the team have made threats to him and his father, Mike Sedesi, who is the defensive coordinator on the team.
We had tires flattened the other night.
Oh my God!
In my dad's truck, we had a billboard painted.
Oh my God! Wait, they have a billboard painted that says Mike Sedesi is a something.
Painted with some derogatory words on it, pretty much the same ones I used there about abuse and being abusive and stuff like that.
Sedesi says the reason this is happening is because over the last few weeks, players have been increasingly disrespectful.
Berating coaches, cursing at coaches.
When coaches took disciplinary action, like forcing kids to run, things didn't get better.
Kids didn't take to that so well, and it started to really backfire.
Eventually, tensions got so bad, Sedesi says the school suspended his father from a future game just hours before the team was playing Schuylkill Haven last month. And because players were still disrespectful after the fact, coaches decided to bench some of the players for their next game this Friday.
When parents obviously found out we were going to be sitting some kids, we got a lot of backlash, a lot of threats.
Wow.
We were threatened that if their kid don't start in the game, that they would need to have extra security at the game.
After threats escalated over the weekend, both Steven and his father decided to resign, and Williams Valley's athletic director is now stepping in as head coach. Newswatch 16 reached out to the Williams Valley superintendent and has not received a response. Audie Iyer, Newswatch 16, Schuylkill County.
God damn. Now,
Over
this
the
sounds
last
like a very rural part of Pennsylvania, and I don't know if, I'll say it this way, I don't know. What was the movie All the Right Moves that Tom Cruise was in?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania high school football?
I think so, yeah.
Right? So, and that football was the way out of working in the steel mill or the coal mine or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing.
That.
And I'm just wondering, is this a poorer area, and is football seen as, hey, if my kid doesn't play, there's a chance he doesn't get the scholarship? And so, but that is insane. That's insane. I mean, I thought, I don't know much about this story, but it kept rumbling in my head. So that's why when you were talking baseball, I'm sorry. I was half listening as I was trying to find this story because it's.
I'm used to it.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. No, that's not your fault.
It's Beth. It's Beth, right? Beth does the same thing.
I do the same thing to her, too.
But the...
what kind of milk?
I feel like I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. Because if I thought a coach was abusive, maybe you have a conversation. But if I think the coach is
or overstepping. I can't say here is abusive, but overstepping. I have a conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to not, this makes no sense.
This is when parents ruin everything.
Well, I
hate saying that, but this is the case.
This is a bit of a political thing, right? They forced the guy out or forced the guy's hand, and now,
someone's going to get a good football coach out of this.
And they're telling him he's a pussy, I'm sure, and all this stuff. But and look, he's a high school football coach. He has a business during the day, his own business. You're threatening. I remember when I was in high school, I went to school with the superintendent's son. And he was not the most athletic guy, but you would see all of a sudden Dad would hit the sideline. He'd be talking to the coach, and the next thing you know, Josh would be in. and you know, a lot of the guys would get really pissed off about it, but no one had the balls to really say anything. And you know, it was a sub. He would sub in, and he'd be in for a little while, but not like, you know. But it was weird. Every time Dad showed up on the sideline, he'd be over talking and doing his thing. And then the next thing you know, oh, all right. And I'd be like, come on.
Right.
Come on. He was not that athletic. Whatever. You're trying to do good by your kid or give your kid an opportunity to show that maybe he's better than, you know, you think he's better than whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy was made of stone. I mean, shit just bounced. The balls would just bounce off this guy. He had no control whatsoever. Couldn't catch. Yeah.
The adults always ruin everything.
Unfortunately, I mean, this sounds like parents living vicariously through the kids.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm surprised in 2025.
I'm not.
You're not?
No. It's a big country.
Yeah, I guess. But you're slashing the guy's tires? Fucking tires are expensive, man. That's like $800 minimum.
Jordan Peterson once said, he goes, how many of you in this room would ever become a Nazi? And nobody raised their hand.
Sure.
He goes, yeah, you're the perfect candidate, and here's why. And he went through all the examples of just how one person can turn 2 people, could turn 4 people to 8 people. All of a sudden, mob rule grows,
right,
and people start thinking in groups instead of thinking for themselves.
Well, because you want to belong to a group. Look, Hitler came, in my mind, you can take gangs in certain parts of cities or of the country and you can take the Nazis, and you can almost do a side-by-side thing. You had a country that was devastated during World War I.
Mm-hmm.
You had a generation of men who felt emasculated, right? That were angry, that were, you know, maybe absentee in some way. And you've got young people looking to belong and looking for a leader. They're looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes this fiery guy with great rhetoric that spoke right to them, and how we're going to do this and we're going to rebuild it. And, you know, these people are the problem, and they're getting in your way. I don't know that was said, but that mentality, right? And it's the same thing. I mean, if you talk to young gang members, they're just looking to belong and be led and be part of a group. And if unfortunately we join that group. And so I don't think Jordan Peterson is necessarily wrong, but, you know, the Nazis, they made Volkswagen.
I'm not trying to compare
No.
people to, but that's just one example of like okay, all it takes is like a couple parents to get a few. Hey, you know, I see Johnny's not playing, man. What's going on? How come he's not out? You know, I say the same thing about Joey.
Yeah.
He's not playing either. You know what we ought to do?
Yeah, right.
You know who else's kid's not playing? You know, I mean, there's this story about when Wayne. Do you ever see the Wayne Gretzky 30 for 30?
No, I did not.
It was the first one.
Okay.
And it talked about how the parents, like, this is Gretzky we're talking about. Gretzky. Like, above and beyond any other hockey player who's ever played the game, although Bruins fans would argue it's Bobby or whatever. And, like, parents would be sitting there with stopwatches at practice telling the coach, Gretzky was out there this amount of time. How come my kid's only out here this amount of time? Right? It's Gretzky. Wade freaking Gretzky. Not Tyler Muir, Wade Gretzky. I'm just, shout out to our friend Kevin. And the point is, though, is that, like, these parents felt, no.
Yeah.
If Gretzky could do it, my kid would just do the same thing.
Right,
Look at that. You just have to give him more time. He could be Wayne Gretzky, too.
Oh, I don't know. Well, look, you don't
Parents just don't understand.
But you don't have kids, so you're not allowed to say.
I'm not qualified.
You're not qualified.
I'm not qualified.
No.
By the way, congratulations to Kevin and his Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin's a Dodger fan.
Dodger
It's the
fan.
more subtle side of Kevin. We don't hear much about the Dodgers from Kevin.
Kevin is deep in hockey stuff with his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, very deep.
I heard Tyler's going pro.
I don't know.
Tyler's really good.
He's very good.
Isn't Sammy like is going to play hockey too still?
I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know. I possibly, but I think that Tyler has an opportunity maybe down the line to play Division I.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's a hard worker, and he's learning more and more as it goes on, and of what it's going to really take. Whoops!
Did Kevin make him walk home last game?
No. He did threaten that, didn't he? That one time, and that's what's so crazy is
From like Lake Placid.
Yeah, right. He was so pissed off. I think he didn't take him in his car. I think he had
This is like
another
a couple
parent
years.
driver. Yeah,
This is a couple years ago.
but I think Tyler's learning what it takes to play at that elite level. He was on a Canadian team, and he's like, oh my God, it was so much faster. But once you rise to your next level. You know, let's not argue for our limitations. Let's stretch ourselves. Stretch ourselves and make it all happen. Danny, it was a pleasure.
As always, Bill.
Yeah.
I love coming on here.
I love when you're on. It was an interesting one. And,
It always is.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. For Dan Barillo, for Beth Barillo, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you tomorrow.
My title had to wait. Down here looking for a Cadillac with Tennessee.
Hello, my friends. Let's be honest. 2025 has been a lot between the news, the group chats, the price of coffee. I mean, most of us are running on caffeine and chaos. That's why it's time to hit pause and align your energy. My friend, an absolute powerhouse of peace, healer Sheila Tillich is here to help you shake off the stress, balance your vibes, and unlock your highest potential. I'm talking real healing here, not light a candle and hope for the best energy. Sheila works on a cellular level, releasing those old energetic imprints stored deep in your DNA. You know, the ones that pop up every time your in-laws visit. And listen, with the new year right around the corner, this is the perfect gift. Help someone deal with the issues in their tissues and start 2026 on the right foot. Plus, you can meet Sheila in person at the Let's Rock Market, Sunday, October 26th at Eaglevale from 10 to 4 p.m. Swing by, say hi, and maybe let her tune up your energy while you're at it. So go to SheilaTillich.com. Check out her holiday specials, see all the offers, and get ready to glow from the inside out. Because let's face it, peace looks good on you. Sheila Tillich, helping you heal one good vibe at a time.